Welcome back, everybody. Now this is a view that some of you might recognise from our other videos. We have not paid a lot of attention to this because, it looks like this for starters, but we're going to get stuck into our rear fireplace area, which is very exciting. I have been looking forward to taking these old stone pavers off for such a long time. And this is the last piece of the puzzle for our rear dining living area. So the last little bit of dust and rubbish that we need to make is this piece right here. Once this is done, then we can get into the final touch-ups and the finishes for the rest of our area, which is really exciting. So big hurdle to cross here. And if you haven't seen what we've done in the first fireplace, we'll provide a link for our front area. That was very, very custom. So for this fireplace here, we're going to pare it back a little bit and just do a nice, beautiful, tall frame that's going to sit above this so that we get this nice vertical transfer through the whole area. So that we're not going to have a mantle or anything in the middle here. So we're going to be doing another inbuilt fireplace through the middle, which is good. We only need to do a little bit of demolition for the brickwork behind here because we're going to be reusing the existing flue. The chimney itself is in pretty good nick, so we'll be able to flue straight up that. So a little bit of alterations to make the new fireplace work here. Our TV is going to be mounted above. This is our main living room space, so it's very important. And to the nice tall sides to this, we're going to do some nice curved plaster edges. So we're going to do a nice curved radius with our plaster, round it back off and try and see if we can get a nice finish there. Definitely haven't done something like this before, so pretty keen to see how it all turns out and how good we can get it to look. So I'm going to brace myself, put on some gloves, a mask. This is going to be dirty. All right, so I've cleaned up that mess. And of course, now it's time to make another one, which is going to be way dirtier. Because inside here, the way they built these old fireplaces is they have this big smoke shelf. So it comes up on this big angle. They built all this brickwork up to try and push the smoke up and away up the chimney. Because if you didn't, it sort of billows through the fireplace and then ends up coming out the front. So this smoke shelf isn't providing us the depth we need for our new fireplace to slot in this opening. So a little bit more jackhammering and push this back right out so that we can get our full box to slide in nicely. Just know that whenever you want to touch an old fireplace, expect to get as dirty as it is. This is not a clean operation, so beware. This is what you're in for. But it's finally finished now. All of that's taken out. So none of it's structural, which is fantastic. All of that stuff is just inbuilt brickwork to provide that smoke shelf. So now that's all emptied out. I can clean this up and then clean myself up and then the rest of the room because it's dirty as hell. All right, so this is now finished. As you can see, it's nice and clean, and so am I because I just had a shower. I was just so dirty. I did not want to get the rest of the house covered in black soot, so just thought it best that we'd cover the whole shower in black soot, just so I don't make the place any more dirtier. And now we're just going to get straight back into making things dirty again. So we do need to trim down the sides of these fireplace edging here, so all this brick's got to go just along the strip here because I need to frame out our curved section to the end of this build-out wall. Without moving just this last course or half brick all the way down the side here. It's just going to push us too close to the windows. So I'm going to take out this little strip here, and that's going to allow us to run some full length studs all the way up and help us frame up our little corners. Now it's actually a shame that these tiles don't look that great because it's like this off purple color, but they're actually like this beautiful made in England tile. These have been down ever since we bought the house, and they do look okay. Just a bit of an off, awkward color, but it's really interesting to see something like this. It's quite a lovely little finish on the back of this tile here. Oh, hello, welcome. Someone's hungry for dinner. Anyway, it is a bit of a shame for these tiles. I think we're gonna have to say goodbye to them because there's not really much else that we can do with them. But nice little piece of history. Yesterday we got all of that dirty stuff done, thank God. I really didn't want to do that again. It was such a labour intensive day and it was just made such a mess. I then vacuumed the back of the house here like 3 or 4 times and then myself as well. It was just a nightmare. So anyway, we're past that point. Today we're going to try and knock over this bit of a frame here. So we're going to pack it all out flush with this brickwork behind me, and that's going to allow us to line this face and then straight up the frame so that we've got that nice consistent look all the way up. And basically just try to figure out how we're going to do these corners. Like most things, there's 1,000 ways to do something, so I've been scratching my head for most this morning about figuring out how to do it. But try to lean into whatever tools I've got in the shed and whatever materials I've also got in the shed as well to try and figure out what best to use. And I've landed on some little tiny curves like this. So I've made a whole heap of these in the shed. I've got about 18 of them sort of made up. I just cut them with the table saw and a belt sander just to get them nice and round. I'm going to make these 2 curved columns on either side. It's going to help us tie all of this fireplace framing all together and then allow us to line it with cement sheet. And then the next thing is trying to figure out how to line that curve with cement sheet too. One thing we probably haven't mentioned before is that we are going to be doing a micro cement finish on this fireplace, which is really interesting, something that we've never done before. So quite excited to get that going, but we've got to get this substrate right first. So let's see how these go. Alright, so during the week, I finished off the last little bit of this framing here, so ample blocking for our TV. You definitely don't want to half-ass that. And make sure you just fill it right out. You don't put a couple of blocks in. It's always best just to go overboard so that when you change TV sizes or you get your fixing plate up there for your bracket and it has weird holes, you know you're going to find some timber. So do yourself a favour, put some extra timber in there for your TV. Now, getting back to the frame itself and these tricky edges, I'm going to try to tackle the cement sheet today. Now, I did a couple of tests on some cement sheet earlier and it was a little bit brittle with that edge. So I really don't know how I'm quite going to figure that out yet. I think we're just going to do a curved back cut on those sheets just to get around this nice tight radius that we've got here. It might crack a little bit. I'm hoping that I can just wet the cement sheet and just ease it around its corners nicely. It is a really tight radius, so cement sheet does not like bending that much. But if I can get it close enough, I can basically sand the rest down. I can use some base coat to help form up those curves. And that'll give us a really nice smooth edge, but I do need to have a bit of body to it. So hopefully we can get this cement sheet to curve around those corners nicely. And then I'll try and finish the rest up with some cement or some other type of topping. Oh. Now you've heard us say it a few times before, when you're doing curves, make sure you're going to set yourself some serious time and some headaches because curves are not easy. In any aspect, you've seen us do some amazing stuff to some cabinetry, we've done some awesome things to our bookshelves. This of course is just another wonderful curve that we're putting in this house. But they are labour intensive and they're hard work, so do not be distracted by wonderful curves because they take a lot of energy. But we've done our kerfing on the first sheet, so this is all finished. I've just left basically a millimetre left on the edge of this sheet here to play with. A lot of the body of the sheet's pretty much well cut out. In my test piece, a slow little bend on each and every single line is going to be the best way here because the fibres do tend to just split a little bit. And that's kind of a good thing. So I'm just going to wet it, I'm going to soak it and just keep wetting it so those fibres are nice and soft. And then I'm just literally going to go line by line on this block of wood here and bend it down, and hopefully that just gives each and every little line a tight little curve. By the time I get all the way to the end here, I should have my nice little radius to stretch around our frame. I'm really just taking my time here. It's a really tedious process, but I'm finding that the wetter this sheet gets and the slower I do bend it, it does slightly start to crease the top end of the sheet there. You can hear the fibers stretching just ever so slightly, which is just perfect because I don't want to crack it, but it's just enough to get it to curve slowly. So easing my way through this whole sheet, we should be able to get a nice radius. Well, that went way better than I've expected it to. My test piece did not look as good as this. It was like fully cracked. I think I just took more time on the influence on bending this sheet. It just slowly stretched those fibers out. You can sort of hear it starting to crack a little bit because of course cement sheet is fibers build up in a little bit of layering. So a couple of these have started to sort of split along that 1 mil curve that I've got. But once I glue it all together and wrap it around those corners and screw it all off, it's going to be a really strong corner. So I'm stoked. Now I might seem a little bit overboard, but I'm going overboard with this glue. I don't want to just do a couple little bit of dobs. It is cement sheet, and obviously we're going to hold it together with a whole bunch of screws, but I'd rather go extra over with the stud adhesive for our cement sheet just so we can get a really good fixing, and I know it's going to be locked away once we screw it on.
We take no risks in this household, do we, Brad?
Oh, we take a few.
Bradley!
You good? Yeah, just get right up. There we go. to the bottom one first.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to go top first.
Just get you to hold it.
Yep.
Not that it's going anywhere, but...
And if it did, I'm not sure I could do much about it, but I'll stand here.
I'll stand and scream.
How does this make you feel?
Pretty good.
Feel like it's a pretty big step forward.
So just for our brickwork, I'm putting in some extra tile adhesive. I mean, you could probably use the stud adhesive, would work probably just as well. But I figure just being a little bit too close to the fireplace, this might get warm, you know, just playing it safe here. So I had some leftover tile adhesive from our mudroom, so we're going to be popping this on here and just direct sticking this last cement sheet before we have to do some sides to get it to stick to our brickwork. Oh, hang on.
Brad, this is very cool. As per usual, you've done an exceptional job.
Curves. And those are the last two bits finished. This is looking incredibly grand now. I love this. It's made this piece of the room feel massive. But as you can see, we've just minimized this opening. We want to wait till our fireplace comes until we trim out those sides and make it a perfect fit. I might have to build in the bricks along the side there, but again, I'm not too sure exactly how it's going to fit. Same thing with the hearth, we're still going to pour that out of concrete. So we're going to wait for our currently delayed fireplace to arrive, and we'll then get back stuck into this and finish up the other bits.
And while I've not been a part of this process at all,
You've been here in spirit.
I've been here watching it come together. It looks unbelievable. The impact on the room, I think anytime you go high, the impact on the room, it just made the room feel so much bigger. Like it's quite amazing the visual difference that it has brought. So I'm very excited to see it finished. And yeah, we'll pick it back up when the fireplace arrives.
That's it. So only a couple little bits and pieces to do. I think we might tackle some base coat on this and get all this prepped and primed ready for our microcement finish, which is also going to be super exciting. But for now, we're just going to leave this one here.
Thanks for joining us.
See you very soon.
Bye.